Welcome back to Artem at Home, the second channel of Artem MMA, and in this video, I'm going to be putting on my tinfoil hat. This is a little bit of a conspiracy theory sort of video in a way, because I'm going to be talking about how I think that Rico Verhoeven vacating his Glory Kickboxing title could be linked to Francis NGannou recently getting thrashed by Dana White in interviews regarding Francis NGannou's character and stuff like that. And you might think, they have no link whatsoever. What are you on about? And that is why this is a tinfoil hat video. This is not something that I do claim to be accurate. This is a theory that I have come up with based on things that I have read online. And it's just something that I've put the pieces together to come up with this little theory. So I believe that Rico Verhoeven has, of course, vacated his Glory Kickboxing title. And he is actually potentially not actually going to sign to the UFC, which would be why Dana White might be a little bit upset. Rico Verhoeven is very well regarded as the greatest kickboxer of all time. He was regarded as the greatest kickboxer of all time, to my knowledge, in 2022. And he still went on a very significant win streak, including wins over former champions Artem Vakatov recently. And just in general has been putting on some very, very good performances, even at the age of 34, 35, 36. So yes, he may have vacated that title to sign for the UFC, but I think he hasn't, and that is why Dana White might be upset. But why would Dana White be upset and then direct this upsetness, quote-unquote, to Francis Ngannou? Well, this is where the conspiracy theory comes together. I think that there is a very real chance that Rico Verhoeven is actually going to vacate his title from Glory and then either box Francis Ngannou, obviously in the boxing ring, or maybe even some sort of mixed rules kickboxing bout. I don't know what they come up with these days, man. You can see a little bit everything. Jake Paul is going to be fighting against Anthony Joshua, all right? That is what's going on right now. So maybe Ngannou is going to fight Rico Verhoeven in kickboxing, in boxing, I don't know. Or maybe he's going to be kind of negotiating some sort of deal with the PFL, which was going to bring Rico Verhoeven over to the PFL as an MMA fighter, and then he's going to fight Francis Ngannou, maybe in MMA, but it does seem like Ngannou's relationship with the PFL is very strained at the moment, to say the least. That is my conspiracy theory. Now, I couldn't really find any sort of backup to this because I did read online that apparently Rico Verhoeven has said in the past that he would not sign for the UFC. I tried to find some news on this because apparently the rumor is, according to Ariel Helwani, a very good friend of my show. Of course, Ariel Helwani did a whole podcast with Luke Thomas about one of my tweets regarding Francis Ngannou back in the day. If you remember, you do remember. But Ariel Helwani has said that he's actually in talks with several promotions, including the UFC. I just read this title here. Apparently, Turki Alalshikh has hinted at signing Rico Verhoeven. Apparently, this is news to me right now. Definitely. Oh, maybe it's fight Anthony Joshua. I mean, maybe. The thing about Rico Verhoeven, though, is I don't think that to, like, the worldwide audience, he is super, super crazy popular. Like, of course, people that are fans of combat sports are going to be very familiar with him, especially kickboxing fans, Glory fans. Obviously, this guy is the greatest fighter in kickboxing of all time, in my personal opinion. I mean, I don't think that's really that disputed, but definitely one of the GOATs of the sport nonetheless. And I think that in general, like, if you just booked Rico Verhoeven versus Anthony Joshua, I do think it could actually kind of come as a situation where it's like Francis Ngannou fighting Tyson Fury, and a lot of people didn't even know who Francis Ngannou was when he did, of course, go out there and fight against Tyson Fury in that fight. So, very interesting. That is my conspiracy theory. Now, yes, Dana White has been making a lot of comments regarding Francis Ngannou, many which some people are claiming to back up to potentially be true. Now, I have said from the beginning that Francis Ngannou was just trying to get money. I don't think he actually did care about the livelihood of the MMA and getting the UFC fighters paid more and stuff. I think he just wanted more money, and I think that his actions after signing to the PFL are a very clear indicator of that. Now, unfortunately, he has had a lot of out-of-the-ring things to deal with, but he kind of just took the $20 million a fight or something from Francis Ngannou, fought once, and then just fought a couple times in boxing. So, yeah, definitely there is some sort of, maybe Francis Ngannou kind of shitting on PFL, especially considering PFL did their entire PFL Africa because of him as well. But I'm not here to talk about Ngannou. I'm here to talk about my conspiracy theory regarding Verhoeven and Ngannou. Let me know what you think about that in the comments below. because I think that's a very interesting theory that I have come up with, to be honest with you.